Alrighty guys, we're back for Proto Lurker, and this is a Bloomburrow Standard Brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, this was a suggestion over in the Discord. So, thank you so much for the suggestion, it's gonna be a fun one. This is very much an Azorius Blink list that's rocking Simulacrum Synthesizer. This is a 3-mana artifact. When it enters, you scry 2, and whenever another artifact you control with mana value 3 or greater enters, you get a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token with this creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. We probably know this card enough for me not to go over it, but it's also like the main build around, so I should probably read it, right? We have a whole bunch of prototype cards packed in here with it, like Hulking Metamorph, for example. This is a 9-mana shapeshifter, so you may have Hulking Metamorph enter as a copy of another artifact or a creature you control, except it's an artifact creature in addition to its other types, and its power and toughness are equal to Hulking Metamorph's power and toughness, which is a 7/7 unless you play it at the prototype cost for just 2 and double blue, which is why I moved it over here to the 4-mana spot. Then it would be a 3/3 instead. We also have Combat Thresher here, a 7-mana 3/3 double strike. When it enters, draw a card, but it also has prototype for just 2 and a white. Not bad. Not bad to blink these prototypes at all. So how do we blink them in here? Well, we have Splash Portal. This is a 1-mana sorcery. Exile target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. If that creature is a bird, frog, otter, or rat, you draw a card. So if you're hitting those prototypes, like the Combat Thresher, for example, you're not going to draw a card, but that's still a really cheap way to blink something on the board, and then every now and then it is going to be a frog in here, because it's called Proto Lurker for a reason. We have Long River Lurker, a 3-mana, 2/3 with Ward 1. Other frogs you control also have Ward 1. Now when Long River Lurker enters, target creature you control can't be blocked this turn. Then whenever that creature deals combat damage this turn, you may exile it. If you do, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. So another way to blink our prototype creatures. Pretty sick stuff. We also have Pond Prophet in here, another frog. The 2-mana. It's 1/1 when it enters, you draw a card, but up in the casting cost is a 2 hybrid mana, Simic hybrid, so green and blue. So in this build in particular, it's just going to be double blue, which might honestly be a little bit greedy when we're also rocking Parting Gust, which is double white, instant speed. You can gift a tapped fish. Exile target non-token creature. If the gift wasn't promised, you return that creature to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it at the beginning of the next end step. So another way to blink our own cards or act as kind of the main piece of spot removal in here. And we also have a couple Get Lost in here for more removal. That should come in handy. We also have 2 temporary lockdowns. That should come in handy. And every now and then, I guess you never know, you might pick up a couple Pond Prophets, and maybe you'll want to pop a lockdown with your own Get Lost or something. It's a line. It probably isn't going to happen very often, but it might. And we also have a couple Salvation Swans, a 4-mana 3/3 flash flying. Now, when the swan or another bird you control enters, you exile up to 1 target creature you control without flying. Then you return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with flying counter on it at the beginning of your next end step. So yet another way to blink our creatures. All right. We also have Static Net in here as another piece of spot removal at 4 mana. It might be pretty steep. Get to exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until Static Net leaves the battlefield. But then also when it enters, this is pretty cool. You get to gain 2 life. And also create a tapped Power Stone token. With all these extra artifacts, I think that Power Stone token will really come in handy. As for the top end, we have a couple Starfall Invocations for more board wipes. We also have an Elesh Norn, Mother of Machines, to work with all those ETBs. In the mana base, guys, a lot of dual land, early dual land like Seachrome Coast, and then a lot of tapped land with all 4 Restless Anchorage, yeah, and all 4 of the archives too. I do think the Surveil will come in handy, even though we don't really care about having stuff in the grave. It's just what I opted for. This could also be the tapped land that enters and gains you life too. That could also work. Honorable mentions. Lorna the Third Path was something I considered. Mondrak was something I considered. Duplimancy, my goodness, was also something I considered. Steel Seraph, yep. Another round almost made the cut. And then some mana that almost made the cut was actually this Hall of Tagsin, and then also Mirrex I considered as well. Okay, guys, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, and see how we do. All right, guys, what am I expecting from the list? I am expecting jank. We have so many ways to blink our creatures that I think we're going to have some hands that are like just cards that blink creatures, you know? But we'll see, we'll see. You know, I say I'm expecting jank, but Synthesizer's a pretty darn good magic card, so we might actually be able to pull some stuff off today. We'll start with the archive and see about that scry. Pond Prophet I'm going to keep, because that's a 2 mana thing that we can do next turn. So we'll get the coast down, get the Prophet down, draw a card. Heartfire Hero. Good thing we went first. Hopefully we can have that turn 3 Synthesizer into the Thresher. Another Thresher is not bad. Yeah, going first against like mono red or something, pretty important. That way we can actually establish the thing that we want, and then Synthesizer can start running away with this, hopefully. I'll attempt the block. If it's Monstrous Rage, it is what it is. It was about to hit the hero anyways. They're just taking 1 less damage here. It's no big deal. All right. Heartfire Hero number 2. Even though we went first, we still might not be able to have a turn for setup. We'll see what ends up happening. Parting Gust. Giving them some tapped fish. Look, the Exile is pretty darn good, but we're going to need to get these Threshers down. We already have a Parting Gust in hand. So Thresher, having a couple of them could still be good since they have 2 Heartfire Heroes. We're going to keep 1 on top and send the other, so that way we still have 2 Gusts when it comes time. Giving them fish is pretty rough, though. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, guys. Yeah, we're on the run, man. Blazing Crescendo. That's 8 on the board. We're going down to 8. It's going to be a Bane Splitter as well. We're going down to 6 here. No, down to 5. That was the opponent's turn 3. You know what we should have done? I really should have sent it to try to find a temporary lockdown. Unfortunately, guys, without having 4 white sources on the board, we only have 1 Parting Gust. If we play the Thresher and only have blockers, the blockers have to not be big enough to not only not kill the heroes, but then also not let the trample kill us as well. So if we just go Parting Gust for the turn, that's it. We Parting Gust on the hero, and then we lose to the other hero. So we have to go for the draw on the Thresher, and we get an extra artifact from the Synthesizer. So Synthesizer can block hero, and we can trump the other hero with the Thresher. No, we can't. Double Strike still kills the hero. So I guess that's it. Yeah. So you take 3 from the hero, and then this hero dies, which does another 2. GG opponent, I wonder if there's a way through there. Because even if we survived the turn, Starfall Invocation was going to kill the heroes, and then the heroes still would have done the damage. So the only successful way through would have been to send the Parting Gust to the scry on the Synthesizer and just hope that temporary lockdown was on the top, which it wasn't. We actually drew the next card anyways, with the Thresher play. Wow. Well, let's keep the ball rolling. Only we'll roll the ball into some victories instead. But no, I think that regardless of what you're playing, that's kind of the case. I've been bringing it up for a couple weeks now. When you're up against mono red, you're usually really sweating. That version of mono red looked like it was actually Rakdos with Callous Sellsword. We don't know how many black cards they actually had in there. outside of the sellsword, but a double white in hand. This is not keepable. We got to mulligan that. Oh yeah, there we go. We go first. That's lucky, but we went first last game too, so we'll keep the 6. We'll send the Swan, but we're pretty far from the Swan for now. No prototypes in hand though. But we can't go down to 5 either, so at least we got Synthesizer and a lot of things to draw into to start generating artifacts off the Synthesizer. Soldier. Ooh. Parting Gust is available. Probably don't want to use that just yet though, but we'll see. I almost played the island. That was almost a mistake. Ah, okay. We'll Parting Gust the Vanguard. That's not terrible, right? There's probably better hits though. I don't know. Take the 1. Parting Gust, give him a 1/1. I guess we'll do it. So we gift a tapped fish. With nothing else to do in hand, I'd say trading that creature out for a fish is actually pretty darn good. We'll establish the Synthesizer. Ooh, Metamorph and Invocation. That could actually really come in handy. I'm gonna keep both of them, dude. I'm gonna keep both of them. I think that if they start running away with soldiers, then we're gonna need to wipe the board. But then also, if we gift the card and bring back the Metamorph off of the destruction, then that works really well with the Synthesizer to reestablish things. Swinging for 4. Yeah, see, Veteran was probably a better target for the Gust, but then we would have had to take this turn to do that, which actually just sounds horrible. So 4 mana Metamorph, copy Synthesizer, scry 2. Let's see what's underneath that Invocation. The Plains, actually. I'm going to send the Plains. Next turn is going to be the Long River Lurker, probably. Get the Metamorph through. And blink it. I'm still a little concerned about the Invocation. But I'm going to stick to it, man. I'm going to keep it. It's not bad. Wonder what kind of removal they have packed in. Because if we can keep... Well, we'll see what happens here, right? Buff the frontliner. They go for the swing. We're going to take this for the turn. It's just going to be 3. We're just going to take it down to 12. This is going to be fun to showcase here. Skystrike Officer. Okay, there's the Invocation. We get our tapped land down. Let's get the Long River Lurker down. We target our Simulacrum Synthesizer, which is so hard for me to say sometimes. Only sometimes, though, like literally. Other times I'm completely fine. Then we blink it. Then we copy the Synthesizer again. Now it's a 7/7. How freaking cool is this, man? Synthesizer, wow. Okay, Static Net's not bad too, honestly. It really isn't. I'm just gonna go Synthesizer though, just big things, right? The life gain on the net is pretty good too though. That's a lot to think about there, but I think just see if we can find even more artifacts at this point is fine. Recruitment Officer. Yeah, if we need to reset, then the Starfall Invocation, like they're going wide too, so we could have a really good reset here. Because we gift them a card and then bring back our Metamorph. But we'll wait for the other Synthesizer to be on the board first, right? I'm gonna establish that. Down to 9, we gotta be very careful. We gotta be very, very careful. Maybe we should wipe the board this turn, actually. So we'd start with a swing. They got 2 cards in hand. They'll have 3 after the Invocation. I How many blocks into this synthesizer do you think they'd go? We might be able to get some good damage through for the turn. I know, I really want to do the setup, but we're getting really close to death here. So we're going to go full swing. I really doubt they end up blocking excessively into the synthesizer. But they do have 2 cards open. Reinforcements. So all they need to do is chump, and that's what we're hoping for, I guess. We don't want them to full block into our 7/7, as that was the card that we wanted to bring back with the invocation. Chump. 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 Our board wipe is a little bit less impressive, but at least we got 2 through here. Oh, they get to tap a whole bunch of stuff down for the Skystrike Officer, restocking their hand really nicely. They could have done this at instant speed anyways, so this was gonna happen. They can do it again. And then we're also gifting them a card off the invocation, so I think that this is anyone's game, guys. Pretty easily. Alright, here goes nothing. Alright, so we gift a card. There you go, buddy. They have so many cards, though. They really do. Metamorph, Synthesizer. That's cool, though. That's really cool. Oh, Veteran gives them 5 tokens, dude. We don't need the land. Alright, yeah, the opponent is still stocked. But we needed to wipe the board. Did I need to do it earlier? Soldier's still looking sick. They bring back the frontliner. This is a great example of why people play Sunfall, right? But the invocation working with the ETBs is kind of the idea here. Oh, Harbin brings them into the air. They won. GG opponent. Holy cow, dude. Oh, there had to have been a better way through there, right? I feel like our deck was doing a lot. A board wipe earlier would have meant potentially less 1/1s coming back from the Siege Veteran. Something... My early Parting Gust, right? I did that while I just had the 2 open. If I would have saved that to take care to exile the Veteran or to hit the Officer to help them, or to have them... How am I trying to say that? To not help them. So that way they don't draw as much, right? That's what I'm getting at there. So maybe saving that early spot removal. A beautiful showcase of our deck list, though. I probably could have played that out much, much better. But I don't know if we can blame the deck for that particular game. And then also Soldier's looking beautiful over there. Looking really fun still. Alright, opponent. Let's see. It's been a while since I got a victory. I gotta be 100% with you guys. On a bit of a loss streak. This looks like a decent enough hand. With the Pawn Prophet here replacing itself. Getting a Surveil early on as well. Yeah, maybe the invocation wasn't the bet, but with Harbin coming down eventually anyways, I guess we helped them draw into the Harbin by waiting for so long too, though, so... Or it could have already been in hand and they were just waiting for the right moment. I don't think we need another blue source, so I will send that. That's a tough one. That's like, that last game's one to go back and watch and see what happens. Wow, Synthesizer off the top is beautiful. See what we can find here. Splash Portal, good. Really good. Probably just go for the Synthesizer play next turn, though. No, opponent! We had such a good lineup! Come back, opponent! Alright, guys, I'll put that one up as a test hand if I remember, or a sample hand. Well, it's like I said, victories have been hard to come by. I'll take it. Hey, guys, while I have you here, just 20 minutes into the video, sometimes I forget when I get to the middle of the video and I have to say it at the end. But while I have you here, make sure you check out that description. We do got that Discord link there, as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in supporting the channel that way. And also, if you do like the video or you like the deck list or whatever, make sure you actually drop it a like. If you do like the channel, then consider subscribing as well. It really does help out the channel. And also, thank you. All right. All right. We go first. Good hand. Let's do it. Man, that synthesizer was such a good draw. I'm a little sad about that. Start with this Surveil. Synthesizer. Hi. Hello. We keep you on top. We don't have a Pond Prophet on turn 2 this time because of our tapped land. That should be okay. We should be fine. Yeah, we could keep the Parting Gust open, actually. But then we won't have the guaranteed turn 3 without an untapped source off the top. We want that guaranteed synthesizer. Oh! Well, I can only imagine they tempo us out with the synthesizer grab. Parting Gust would be alright, but I don't know about that, man, because we just replaced their bat with a 1/1 to get the synthesizer back. Then bat number 2 could come down. I think it's the tempo play and grab the synthesizer. That stops our turn 3. It is, in fact, the synthesizer. All right, let's start with the draw on the frog. We could see an untapped blue source, and then we could blink the frog with the splash portal. Yeah, I'm not taking the turn to pop the bat because I think we're going to need to do that at instant speed. We do find a blue source, and we're going for it. Restocking our hand really nicely here, replacing the splash portal and then getting the extra draw on the Pond Prophet. Really good. I don't mind seeing all this excess mana, but we're going to need to see more for sure. Opponent keeps the 3 open. If we grab the synthesizer, we still can't play it. I want to do that at just the right time, just the right moment. So we're going to start with the draw on the second Pond Prophet. Sometimes when we're seeing this deck doing stuff, it kind of feels like okay right now, right? It kind of feels good. With the Parting Gust, we're finally going to get the untapped white source. Yeah, that's going to be much better than getting any of the tapped things down. And we're going to wait for their turn to do the Parting Gust. Oh, we should probably swing too. Every point of damage might actually matter. Don't forget, the Parting Gust could also blink the Pond Prophet, but I really want that synthesizer, so Golgari could easily run things like Tear Asunder. So there's no guarantee that the synthesizer sticks around, so hopefully we can copy it with Metamorph before it's too late. Of course, we can always copy a Pond Prophet with the Metamorph, too. 4th mana. Children would be a much better target for the Parting Gust. They're thinking about it. They're like, well, they have the they know we have the Parting Gust, so that's what they're thinking, right? Okay, well, we'll do it. Here's a fishy. Here you go. And we'll start getting some tapped land down next turn probably, but... Ooh, Thresher. Okay. We should keep this Parting Gust open too. That's definitely what they were thinking, right? Let's go for the Pond Prophet swing. And play the untapped land. Synthesizer, keep 2 white sources open. Yeah, we don't want to forget about blinking the Pond Prophet too. Lockdown could be good. I'll send it. I like the other Thresher though. Yeah, the temporary lockdown could be good. If we saw more of the opponent's list, then maybe, but you know, Golgari rocking Sunslayer and Sheoldred and stuff that is more than 2 mana. Swing with the fishy. Fishy gets through. 5th mana. Deep Cavern Bat. Alright, we still have a lot in hand here, so that's fine. Let's see what they end up grabbing. And I think it's fine if they grab the Parting Gust, because then we'll actually have Hulking Metamorph available. Like, we could consider, like, going Parting Gust before the bat on the Prophet. And then drawing off the Prophet. It just ends up replacing itself. and then they could grab whatever they see off of our draw. But it's something to consider. Oh, no, no, no. It wouldn't replace itself until the end. They do take the Parting Gust. It's the at the beginning of the next end step. So they would have the choice between the Metamorph and the Thresher then. That's interesting. Reopen. If it was untapped land, I would go Thresher number 1 into 2. But it's definitely just going to be the Metamorph for the turn and get the Restless Anchorage down. We're going to copy the Synthesizer, of course, here. But there is a potential for copying the Pawn Prophet. Get the Scry. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. We're sending both of those, for sure. Restless Anchorage. Oh. We still have Prophets if we want to swing. I should probably swing. I should have done that before anything else. We got to cheese the Prophets through anyways, so... Removal for Synthesizer, that's a creature. They go down to 13. And our construct is a 2/2 right now. If we get to keep this Synthesizer around, though, I think we'll be okay, especially after next turn with a couple Threshers coming down, replacing themselves while boosting the constructs. If we don't get to keep the Synthesizer, we could be in trouble. Okay, they go for the Dread Knight play for the turn. 4th mana. When's that Sheoldred coming down, huh? Mosswood Dread Knight. Salvation Swan. Oh, that'll be interesting. Okay, so we start with Thresher. We could draw another Synthesizer, which would be really good. Okay, mana. We start with the Surveil, right? Because we're going to draw on the other Thresher. We don't need a second Restless Anchorage, right? Probably not. Oh, we already have 2 on the board. I'm not even paying attention, dude. Not even looking. Yeah, we already have a couple Anchorage on the board. Okay, replaces itself. Another Swan, too. Wow. All right. I'll keep the Prophets back, I guess. You know what I'm terrified of? I'm terrified of Deadly Cover-Up. Every now and then it pops up. Oh, I should have waited because they have chump blockers for days with the Dread Knight. I should have waited because now they get to draw again. I guess they take a little bit of damage. Yeah, but yeah, no. Restock in their hand. We should have waited for a full swing, I think. This Salvation Swan is about to be interesting. All right. Blossoming Tortoise. Interesting. Grab a land. Ooh, Synthesizer. All right. Well, before combat, because it definitely affects the combat. GG opponent. GG. Yeah. That actually felt decent, but it also felt like Golgari wasn't seeing as much as they should have been. At any point, Sheoldred could have come down and really, really punished us, and it would have forced us to do some things a little bit differently with our spot removal as well. I guess we would have, if it would have come down earlier, we would have had spot removal earlier to take care of it too. But then it's not unheard of for opponents to go ahead and play a second piece of spot removal. So yeah, not bad, dude. Like, there's definitely synergies in here that feel pretty good. It's one of those things, too, where I'm expecting jank, but then when you're playing with that Synthesizer, it's just like, it's really good if it gets to stick around, especially when the whole deck is built around it. So far, so cool. I like it. If we can get like 1 or 2 more games in, since we're about 30 minutes into the video. Looks like, oh, there we go. We found an opponent. Opponent, what y'all bringing to the table, buddy? Let's see it. Parting Gust, double white, double white. Nothing we can do about this, man. If we don't see a white source, this is the worst hand of the evening. Although we've already had to mulligan today, so I probably shouldn't say the worst hand. We should mulligan. I think it is bad enough. I don't know what the odds of us seeing the second white source is, but yeah. All right, Elesh Norn. We are so far from Elesh Norn that we should probably send. It would have been pretty cool to see today, but yeah, that's probably the send. Now, any mana off the top will be fine, and temporary lockdown might be able to save us for long enough. Yeah, that was a worthwhile mulligan. What do you guys think? Woo. Coast. Yeah, I guess they could have artifact removal. Synthesizer getting established with a hand that doesn't care is a little bit discouraging, but we should be fine. There's a lot to draw into. Oh, and the scry too is also amazing. I don't need either of those. Get him out of here. I guess, like, if we kept one, we could have had the Surveil. 5th mana might be important when it comes time. Pine Woods Armadillo. Dude, some teamer colors from the opponent. Very nice. Ancient Cornucopia. I think we should be scared, guys. I don't know what they're trying to ramp into, but wow, that was a good draw. Holy cow. With our splash portal, too. I guess we'll start with the draw. On the Thresher, we also get the construct. This is good, man. If the opponent doesn't have a board wipe... Oh, Metamorph. Now I'm tempted to save the splash portal, but I shouldn't. I shouldn't be tempted. This is really good. We get the draw on the Thresher and another construct. Now that's a turn 4. I like that. Parting Gust is pretty decent. Oh, they're going to pop our synthesizer, guys. Pay the green. That's excellent. Thrillback is a really good underplayed dino for real. And I can see why they would start to bring that up. It's got to be synthesizer, right? I think so. I think so. Oh, they're going to go... Oh, they paid 5 here to go back up to 28. I see. I see. A good swing. We want to get another artifact down. We could have our Thresher become unblockable. But I think it's Metamorph before combat. Anchorage is also pretty good, but this is good. Because we copy Thresher and draw a card. Okay. That boosts the construct so the Thrillback doesn't trade. Taking a lot of damage here, man. Down to 14. They did gain a lot of life this game already, though. So they gained 3 here, 4 here, and 1 on the Cornucopia. Smuggler's Surprise. Dude, we're in danger. I wonder what it's going to be. Oh, we're going to die. We're so dead, right? Full swing. Wait, we have... Wait. We have Thresher. We do have the Thresher. Opponent's popping off, dude. We can chump the Calamity, and that actually trades with it. They're at 36. We take 19. No. What am I mathing? We block here. We take 15. I don't know what I was doing. Where that extra 4 was coming from. Oh, I guess I just counted all together without the block. These get sacrificed. They get artifacts in return. They're still going to be 7 mana artifacts, right? So the lockdown doesn't hit them. We can exile at least one of the tyrants. Dude. GG opponent. They're at 36, man. I don't see a way coming back from this. Oh, those were tokens. They don't get the artifacts. Okay. All right, man. I've played Magic once or twice before. I promise. When it dies, if it's not a token, you create the token. All right, we might still be in this, man. We might still be in this, which would be wild to me because that was a turn and a half from the opponent. We're going to have to Parting Gust that Tyrant. The exile is going to be huge. And then we could consider blinking the Thresher to get some card draw, and getting the Lurker down's fine, right? We could blink with the Parting Gust too, but it looks like we're going to need some instant speed spot removal when it comes time. So here you go, buddy. Have a tapped fish. I'm getting rid of that right here, right now, before I mess up. That's all I gotta say about that. We're gonna keep the Parting Gust open as instant speed spot removal if they try any more shenanigans next turn. And then it could actually be, no, this is fine. We should just swing with this and keep 2 chump blockers back, right? Just in case. That way we'll have instant speed removal for anything else that's crazy, and 2 chump blockers in case of an emergency. There's a lot to consider there, man. If we weren't at 5 and we didn't think that they had more hasty things packed in, we could have powered up Anchorage, swung, map token, buffed the constructs. It would have been great damage, but they gained so much with the Calamity Vaultborn Tyrant play. Yep, another Smuggler Surprise, dude. Yeah, we're in danger. This Parting Gust is going to be really key here. Creatures you control with power 4 or greater have hexproof. Guys, they did it again. Only this time they have hexproof and indestructible. No. It was a good game, opponent. Here, have a fishy. There you go. And then have fun with your swing as well. I'll tell you what, dude, that looks really good. That looks really good. We've tried it in the past, Smuggler Surprise, with the whole Calamity package and whatnot. And when you pull it off, it's something else. And the opponent pulled it off not once, but twice. And it happened to be twice with the Vaultborn Tyrant too, which is kind of crazy. Really cool deck list, opponent. Let's go ahead, double block that Calamity and let that damage slam on through. All right, 37 minutes into the video, guys. 40% deck win rate. I'm surprised we got 40%. I'm actually happy about that. Oh, that middle victory though was the opponent conceding early, right? I think so. Oh, well, hey, maybe we could have won that one authentically, anyways, right? All right, guys, end of video pack. Let's do it. It's Bloomburrow. Let's see it. It's a Balin. Hey. Hi. Balin the Haymaker. Okay. If you guys want to see Balin, let me know in the comments. I will put it down as a comment suggestion and boost a Balin list up the list, because I up my list of deck lists that I play. Wow, list is a word. Anyways, guys, yeah, that's a card that I've been meaning to visit. That's my 4th one. It's ready. It's ready for a deck list. We'll play all 4 of them, even though it's legendary, right? I mean, it could just be like Naya Rabbits at that point, but that's besides the point, man. That has nothing to do with this deck list. Here's the deck list again, guys. Let's do some rearranging with the prototypes. There's the actual curve. 24 mana felt good. Felt like too much sometimes, but that's fine. When we're drawing all these extra things and scrying with the synthesizer and surveilling on the archive, 24 is perfect because you're getting rid of all the excess mana or finding the mana that you need for that late game, which is going to be very important, as you guys could see. Cool stuff. Actually really liked it. Really neat suggestion too. Proto Lurker with that long river Lurker. That was neat, man. We showcased this deck list beautifully, regardless of the losses today. Like, yeah, if that last opponent didn't pop off twice with 2 different Calamities and 2 different Vaultborn Tyrants and 2 different Smuggler Surprises, then I think we would have had a good chance in that last game, honestly. So, yeah, even though that middle opponent conceded early, which I'm pretty sure that's what that game was, if I'm remembering correctly. Lots of games of Magic today, but anyways, if they didn't concede early, I think maybe we would have still had a pretty good chance. And don't get me wrong, though, this is going to be a janky list. So probably put it on the do not craft list unless it just looks like the most fun thing you've ever seen in ages. It's relatively expensive, I think. Synthesizers, mythic, but Synthesizer also has other builds to play it in too. So that, I mean, that's something. That's pretty expensive. The mana base is pretty expensive too, but again, mana can be played in other deck lists as well. Outside of that, the Thresher and the Hulking Metamorph are just uncommon. Long River Lurker's uncommon. Parting Gust is uncommon. Pond Prophet's common. Uncommon for the Splash Portal. Now here's some rares. Salvation Swan's rare. Temporary Lockdown's rare. Get Lost is rare. Of course, the Lockdown could be played in other control lists, and the Get Lost is played like literally everywhere, so... Starfall Invocation should probably just be Sunfall, but then that's really hurting your own deck list too. So I'm going to keep the Invocation, but it's probably not doing as much as we would hope, especially when you have to gift a card to bring one of your creatures back anyways, but that's still a really cool synergy in here with our prototype creatures and all of our other ETBs as well. And similar concept, the Elesh Norn, that's also a mythic, and Elesh Norn isn't necessary. If you don't have the Elesh Norn and you have every other card, you know, you don't have to craft anything, but you have to craft the Elesh Norn, then don't craft the Elesh Norn. Just drop this and go up more spot removal and you'll be happy about it. But outside of that, yeah, no, put it on the do not craft list for sure. It's going to be janky. And I think there's going to be better ways to actually play Synthesizer. But regardless, this was still really cool. And when we were in those games, it actually felt relatively decent overall. But when I put it up on Aether Hub, I'm still going to put it up as jank. But guys, let me know in the comments, what did you think of the deck list? What would you add or take out here? I'm actually not going to change anything, I don't think. I think I like it as is. I don't know if there's too much we could change that would actually make it more competitive. I don't think that's what the deck list is trying to do. It's not trying to be competitive. It's trying to be fun and blink things. And sometimes, though, blink can be really competitive. So, yeah, that depends. That depends. Guys, if you made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to bring up. You know what wasn't as greedy as I thought it was going to be? The double white on the Parting Gust and the double blue on the Pond Prophet. And you know what else wasn't as greedy as I thought it was going to be? The number of ways to blink our creatures. It actually like worked out, right? Splash Portal blinks, Parting Gust acts as removal or blink. Most of the time, it felt like we were just going to have to use this as removal. But it's actually pretty decent removal because it gives them like a 1/1 fishy, and then that 1/1 fishy doesn't actually do too much for them. So Swan blinks, right? Long River Lurker helps us blink as well. I guess that's not as much as I was thinking. I mean, I brought this up when we were going over the deck list, I'm pretty sure. But like every now and then, you might pick up a couple Pond Prophets with the Lockdown and then pop the Lockdown with the Get Lost. That's not going to happen very often, but I guess technically that's a way that could help us blink as well. Outside of that, with the artifacts that we have in here, with the Thresher, the Hulking Metamorph, and the Synthesizer, it actually works out nicely. Even though it's not like that many cards, what ends up happening is with all the extra card draw off the Thresher and the Pond Prophet and all the extra Surveil and whatnot and the Scry, we just end up seeing a lot of those 12 anyways. And then when you are seeing those 12, you end up blinking them, which pairs with the Synthesizer. It just like ends up working a little bit better than you would initially anticipate for a janky list. Yeah. All right. Now that's everything I have to say. Enough rambling, huh? Thanks again for being here, and I will see you in the next video.